Well, hello there, and welcome to my channel. My name is Michelle, and today I'm excited to have you guys here because I just took this online test. Yes, I took another online test. Yes, I did. Because if I did not know myself enough already, I needed to know myself a little bit more. That's the wonderful thing about MBTI, right? That's the wonderful thing about personality studies. That's the wonderful thing about personality tests, is you get to learn a little bit more about yourself. And this personality test that I took a couple of days ago, it told me that I actually want to be an ENTJ, not an ENFP. I am an ENFP, but I want to be an ENTJ. So I thought it would be a really interesting thing for us to discuss, my thought process on why that might be. So before we really do that, go ahead, like, and subscribe so that you and we can discuss some MBTI nerdy stuff, as well as other psychological topics or other things that are interesting. And go ahead and join the Discord if you're interested in talking real time with me and other MBTI nerds. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive in. So first, I think that it's really important that we talk about where the heck I took this test. So I will link that in the description, but essentially it's a test that for every question you put real me and ideal me. So the ideal me, is going to answer one thing and the real me is going to answer another thing. And so throughout this test, I was putting my ideals, like what I wish I was and what I am. My results were ENFP is what I am, ENTJ is what I want to be. So I wanted to delve into that, unpack that. Why the heck is that the case? Well, let's go through each of the letter dichotomies to kind of talk about where that might be coming from. So first and foremost, the first letter is exactly the same. The first letter is an E. Yeah, I am leaning towards extrovert, and I feel like I have no reason to change. I don't see any value in being more introverted than I am, except that I might be more productive, but I think my productivity is not necessarily due to my extroversion, but due to my, lack of attention to details, and also my love for new projects. I love new projects. New projects are the best thing ever. It feels so good to start a new project, by the way. You probably know that feeling if you're an ENFP as well, but alas. I never really answered any of the questions like extreme extrovert, but I do think that there's a lot of value in being more extroverted. It makes it easier to talk to people. You're less worried about, you're less inside your head. You're less anxious around being around other people. That's always how I've been, except during my stages where I was a little bit more insecure. Outside of the stages of my life where I was more insecure, being an extrovert has never really been a problem. Being able to talk to other people never really been a problem. So it makes sense that my letter dichotomy there would stay exactly the same. Then the next letter is also the same. It is N, intuition. And yes, it does make sense that I would still want to lean more towards intuition than sensing. Sensing is more about the facts and reality, and intuition is more about the big picture and the future. And I'm already a more future-oriented person. I actually think it's better to focus more on the future than the present moment. Other people might disagree, but my ideal me and my real me would still care about the future. Is there problems in that? Potentially. You can tell me all about in the comments below why I should think more about the facts and reality and less about the future. But I think that I have a healthy amount of the sensing functions in my personality. I have worked on those. I have developed those. So it's not something that I don't want to fundamentally change that about myself. The next letter dichotomy is the T and the F. Now this is the interesting place in which I do have a difference. So I am a feeler, obviously. Those of you who know me know that I can get pretty emotional about things. I care a lot about the things that I care about, and it shows when you poke at that bear. It comes out. And in this test, I put that I would like to be a little bit more level-headed. I would like to be able to make decisions with a little bit less emotion involved, and I stand by that. I think that that is accurate to what I want. I do want to be a little bit more logical than I am. I work really hard to be more logical than I am naturally. My younger self, well, I've always been balance between thinking and feeling for the most part, but I've always leaned towards the feeling. And like, for example, when I was in high school, I was that person that was standing up for every cause that I believed in. I was obnoxious about it. I was like, I'm right, you're wrong. You guys don't know what you're talking about. This is the right thing to do. You guys are crazy for not thinking that. How could you not think that this is the right thing to do? That's the kind of person that I was. And I don't think that there is necessarily anything wrong with that until you offend people, but I would like to be less driven by that. Yes, I want to keep my core fundamental values, but I want to be more logical and even-headed about my decision making. So yes, it makes a lot of sense that T would end up being the letter that I have rather than F. And then the final dichotomy is P and J. Now, P is what I am. It's a perceiver. It means that I'm a little bit all over the place. I like to start like 20 billion projects and actually follow through on them. What's that? You guys can see by the consistency in my schedule posting here on YouTube that is not a strength of mine. Being consistent is not a strength of mine. Being able to follow through on the plans that you create, also not a strength of mine because I keep coming up with these new, great, fantastic ideas. Let's just take my writing as an example. I have been working on this novella for you guys. It's going to come out October 1st, and I took a little hiatus from that story last month, the month of February, and I wrote a short story. It's not finished. I'm going to go back to it, but I took a little break and I wrote something completely else. I was actually talking to someone and they were like, oh yeah, you are working on multiple projects. It's kind of confusing. And I'm like, yes, imagine being in my mind. Too many things are going on. So what would be the benefit of having the J in my stack? Well, yes, being able to actually follow through on the projects that I've set for myself, being able to create a plan and stick to the plan, that would be amazing. I create plans all the time, but I never stick to them. I want to stick to them. I want to have a plan and follow through with that. I want to be successful. I just want to be successful. And yes, I feel like I need more J in order to be successful. So it is also unsurprising to me that I would also choose the J. So that all together comes up with ENTJ, but I didn't even talk about cognitive functions. I didn't even get super nerdy with it. Well, I'm not going to get too super nerdy with it because this test wasn't really testing about the cognitive functions that I prefer. It was talking about my dichotomy decisions, where my dichotomies lie and where I'd like to be. I didn't really want to go too much in depth, but it is worthy of note that the main cognitive function of an ENTJ is extroverted thinking, which is the efficiency master, the decision-making process that allows you to find the path of least resistance to get to your goal. And yeah, that would be phenomenal to be better at because if you guys are really into the nerdy stuff, ENFPs have what's called child extroverted thinking or aspirational extroverted thinking, which means, we want to be really good at it, but we tend to bite off a little bit more than we chew. You guys should see my bullet journal and all the plans I've come up with and how many of them have actually happened. But that's it. That's all I really wanted to say. If you're an ENTJ, teach me your ways. Please come to the Discord and take me under your wing and help me be more successful because I want to be more like you. I would also like to be more like an ESTJ. If you want to join as well, teach me your ways, wise ones. I need to know how to be better at extroverted thinking. I need to be better at following through with my plans, and I would like to learn from the masters at how to do that. So if you're an ENTJ or even an ESTJ, please join the Discord so we can start talking about ways that I can better actually follow through with the plans that I set. But with all that being said, that's my quick little video about why I want to be an ENTJ according to this test. And I actually believe that I actually do want to be an ENTJ. We can talk about the in-depth nerdiness about it some other time, but I just wanted to do this quick little video to give you guys some insight into me. And for those of you who've been asking for videos about ENTJs, here's some love. I want to be more like you. Teach me your ways. Please, I want to be more like you. With all that being said, I want to thank you guys so very much for watching. If you like this video and want to watch more from me, go ahead and like and subscribe. And if you'd like to support my channel with money, you can go ahead and check out the Patreon. And if you are interested in anything else, let me know. Let me know what you want to see in my next video down in the comments below. And if nothing else, I hope that you have a beautiful, amazing, fantastic day. Bye-bye.